Most cancer survivors are making these 5 mistakes when it comes to their health. I've been working in oncology for several years, and I've seen these same 5 mistakes come up time and time again amongst my patients. If you want to optimize your chances of beating cancer and keep it from coming back, then I strongly urge you to stop making these diet and lifestyle mistakes I'll be talking about in this video, but I'll also be giving you some valuable tips on how to avoid them and what to do instead. I know your time is valuable, so let's jump right in with mistake number 1. I often see people trying to cut back on the amount of sugar they consume after cancer, which is great, but they replace it with low-calorie sweeteners. For people with diabetes or those who are trying to lose weight, this seems like the perfect solution, but unfortunately it's not. One problem with sweeteners is that because they're 200 times more sweet than sugar, several studies have shown that people who consume them regularly end up craving sugar even more. That's the last thing you want, right? Also, some people think that because they're saving on calories by drinking a diet soda rather than a sugar-sweetened soda, then they can make up for those calories by eating junk food like a burger and fries along with their Diet Coke. The third problem with artificial sweeteners is that they're horrible for your gut microbiome. If you want to learn more about how your gut health plays a big role in helping your body fight cancer, watch my video next called Heal Your Gut to Beat Cancer, a Step-by-Step Guide. I'll link this video below for you. Now you may be wondering, what about stevia? It's supposed to be a natural low-calorie sweetener, so it's got to be healthier, right? Not necessarily. Just like all other sweeteners, it can increase your sugar cravings, and there's actually not enough sufficient evidence yet to prove that it doesn't have negative long-term health effects. In fact, stevia is banned in Europe and several countries in Asia because there isn't enough proof that it's not linked to cancer and other health issues. I know very well that sugar is highly addictive and it's really hard to cut it out of your diet and reduce your cravings for it. But if there's one piece of advice I can give you to help you beat cancer or keep it from coming back, it's to at least try to reduce the amount of sugar you consume. Although sugar doesn't directly cause cancer, there are several ways it indirectly causes cancer through conditions like chronic inflammation, diabetes, and obesity, which all greatly increase your chances of getting cancer. But don't worry, there are 2 very effective strategies on cutting sugar out of your diet, which I go over in my video called Quitting Sugar for 30 Days. Basically, the first way to do it is to cut it out very slowly so that you barely even notice or even miss it. And the other way is to cut it out completely for 30 days, which helps most people stop craving it as much. They're both effective strategies at reducing your sugar cravings because the less sugar you eat, the less you crave it. That's a fact. Mistake number 2 that people are making after cancer, and I know you've heard of this before, is not getting back into exercising or being as physically active as you're capable of. And you may be thinking, yes, I know I should be more active, but I don't have the time or energy, but this may convince you. Recent studies have shown that strength training increases your chances of beating cancer or staying in remission by 60%. That's a lot. So if you're physically able to incorporate a bit of strength training into your life, I would consider that a non-negotiable. Not only that, exercise increases your bone density and your muscle mass, which are both really important as we age because it helps to prevent falls, injuries, and fatigue. Not to mention the other slew of health conditions it helps to prevent, like dementia, heart disease, and high blood pressure, just to name a few. Now, people often think that doing cardio exercise is best for weight loss and overall health, but strength training is actually proving to be much more effective. Yes, doing cardio exercises is great for your cardiovascular health, but you can still get your heart rate up and your blood pumping by lifting weights. Plus, strength training helps you to build muscle much faster, and the more muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolic rate will be, which is what helps you to shed those unwanted kilos, gives you more energy, and makes you look more toned. Now, when I say strength training, I don't mean pumping iron like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just start off by lifting light 2-pound weights while you're sitting on the couch watching TV. And once those feel too easy for you, increase to 5-pound weights and then 10-pound weights. Plus, isn't it easier lifting weights in your living room than going out for a run or driving to a gym? I think so. There are a ton of strength training videos on YouTube for all levels, but again, it's really important to start slowly, especially if you're still recovering from cancer treatment or if you haven't been active in a while. If all you can do right now is beginner yoga, start there. Any movement is better than none. Even taking a 10-minute walk after dinner or eating a big meal can reduce your blood glucose levels by 30 to 35%. Okay, moving on to mistake number 3, not prioritizing your mental health after cancer. Stress has a huge impact on both your mental and physical health. We all have stress in our lives, but adding a cancer diagnosis to the mix can send your stress levels through the roof. And this can compound over time and sneak up on you because you may not even realize how stressed you are and how it's impacting your life and your health unless you take the time to notice it and address it properly. While you're going through cancer treatment, your main concern is to get rid of cancer, getting to your doctor's appointments, managing treatment side effects, and then after you finish treatment, it's all about recovering and adjusting to life after cancer. But throughout all of this, did you ever take the time to check in with yourself, to see how well you're coping mentally or emotionally? Did you ever reach out for extra support? Have you ever joined support groups to meet other cancer survivors? If so, good for you, because most cancer patients don't do this. The thing is that even with the most supportive family and friends, unless they've had cancer themselves, they won't truly understand what you're going through. It's completely normal to feel alone unless you can talk to somebody who's been in your shoes or is experienced in supporting people with cancer. I find that reaching out for support can be really difficult for a lot of people because they're so used to being self-sufficient or the rock of the family. But you can't truly support your loved ones if you're struggling internally, right? You have to prioritize your health before anyone else's. And relieving cancer-related stress or anxiety is different for everybody. For some people, meditation helps. For some people, journaling helps. But what you need to do is figure out what works for you. Try to find an outlet, something you're passionate about, maybe painting, gardening, or writing. Find something that gives you energy and that takes your mind off of what's making you stressed. Something that takes your mind off of cancer. Moving on to mistake number 4, even if you think you're eating enough fruits and vegetables, you're still likely not eating enough or a wide enough variety of them. There was a recent study published this year on how many cancer survivors adhere to the guidelines set out by the American Cancer Society on nutrition. The study found that only 12% of cancer survivors ate enough fruits and vegetables. On their website, they recommend for cancer risk reduction to consume at least 2.5 to 3 cups of vegetables and 1.5 to 2 cups of fruit each day. But what's also really important is to eat a variety of different colors of fruits and vegetables so that you're getting all the different types of phytonutrients that you need after cancer. For example, green-colored foods like lettuce, spinach, kale, or broccoli are rich in carotenoids that act as antioxidants to stop free radicals from damaging your DNA, which can lead to cancer. Another example is blue or purple-colored foods like blueberries or blackberries, grapes, purple cabbage, or eggplant. These contain powerful compounds called anthocyanins that aid in the prevention of obesity, diabetes, and cancer. They've also been shown to reduce the risk of age-related memory loss, which I think we can all benefit from. So don't forget to add more leafy greens, eggplant, and purple cabbage to your omelets, sauces, and stir-fries. And try to eat a handful of blueberries or blackberries each day. A great rule of thumb for adding more fruits and veggies to your diet is at each meal, fill at least half of your plate with them. And don't forget that legumes are considered vegetables too, so beans, chickpeas, or lentils also count. Something I also find really helpful is trying out new vegetarian recipes that I find online or ordering vegetarian meals at restaurants that I can try to replicate at home. Finally, mistake number 5 after cancer is not getting enough quality sleep. And I say that with an emphasis on the word quality. If you're getting 8 hours of sleep and you're still feeling tired when you wake up and throughout the day, you may not be getting quality sleep. Studies estimate that at least half of all cancer survivors struggle with insomnia at one point or another. This can be for several reasons, but just like diet, exercise, and stress management, getting quality sleep is extremely important for helping your body fight cancer, heal from treatment, and stay in remission. A good night's sleep helps you to think more clearly, make healthier choices, gives you more energy, and most importantly, strengthens your immune system. Having a strong immune system after cancer is crucial. One reason is because basically certain types of immune cells recognize precancerous cells as abnormal and they kill them. So getting enough quality sleep at night is necessary for your immune system to protect you. Ideally, you want to go through multiple cycles of all of the 5 stages of sleep. The stages start with feeling drowsy and then advance through deeper sleep until you reach rapid eye movement or REM sleep, which is when your brain is most active and you start dreaming. Research has shown that sleep disturbances or disrupted sleep that impacts your ability to enter a deep sleep negatively impacts your body's ability to repair itself while you sleep and raises the risk of certain chronic illnesses, including cancer recurrence. An 8-year study done on 745 people with cancer showed that, unsurprisingly, those who don't get enough sleep have trouble exercising and staying active enough to maintain a healthy weight or lower their cancer risk. So in other words, people who don't get enough sleep are more likely to have health problems like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. I've heard a lot of my patients say that they've always had trouble sleeping, it's just how they are. But that's not normal. You shouldn't accept that as your normal. If that's the case, then you should try to determine what the root cause of the problem is, like stress, drinking too much caffeine, or not getting enough exercise, so that you can work on fixing it. So if you're not prioritizing your sleep, please do. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please share it with anyone you think could benefit from it as well. And I'll leave you with another helpful video to watch next. Bye for now.